Welcome everyone to another edition of Countdown to Game Day. I am Rich McGowan, the high school sports reporter at the Savannah Morning News, and I'm here to tell you everything you need to know before heading out to the stadium. Last week saw Windsor Forest clinch the number 3 seed for the state playoffs as the Knights took a 20-6 win over Groves. With the Groves loss, the Johnson Adams Masters are playoff bound for the first time since 1992. In other action, Savannah Country Day defeated Bryan County 41-20. Claxton edged out Calvary Day 22-14, and Savannah Christian thumped Portal 40-6. Now the end of the regular season is upon us, and we have just 1 week to go before the GHSA playoffs begin. But independent schools, Memorial Day, Bible Baptist, and St. Andrews all begin their postseasons this weekend. So let's take a closer look at what's coming up. First up is the region playoff in Region 3 Single A. With its win last week and the loss by Calvary Day, Savannah Country Day snagged itself the East's number 2 seed and will get to play another home game, this one against the West number 3 seed, Trutland. Trutland has run hot and cold this season. The Vikings won their first 5 games of the year, including a 36-7 win over Calvary Day, but then lost 3 straight before last week's 27-14 win over Metter to secure the number 3 seed. The Vikings are led by running back Cartel McClendon, who has more than 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns in 9 games this season. The Hornets enter having won 2 games in a row thanks to an offense that appears to be rounding into form. Country Day has outscored its last 2 opponents by a combined 67-34, and that offensive output has come by way of a solid passing game and a running game that appears to have gotten on track. Last week, Vaughn Thomas scored 3 touchdowns, running for 2, and scoring on a 43-yard punt return. Considering all the talent Country Day lost to graduation last year, the Hornets being in position for their 7th straight playoff appearance is quite an achievement. And while this is a young team in a lot of areas, Country Day as a program has played in a lot of big games in recent years, whereas Trutland is enjoying its first winning season in 10 years, which is also the last time they made the playoffs. I think that big game experience could come back to help Country Day and be a detriment to Trutland if they come out nervous. If that happens, I like Country Day to go ahead and make the playoffs yet again, 21-14. A win last week could have put Calvary Day at home Friday night. Instead, the Cavs lost to Claxton and now have to hit the road to Twin City, where, to make the state playoffs, the Cavaliers have to beat defending champions Emmanuel County Institute. ECI is led, of course, by the state's all-time record holder for touchdowns scored, Washawn Ely. This season, Ely has run for more than 1,700 yards and 25 touchdowns. The Bulldogs have won 24 straight games and have not lost to a region opponent since September 2005. And the last time ECI met Calvary, the Bulldogs won 69-27 and Ely scored 7 touchdowns. But Calvary has much improved since that last meeting and is now coached by Mark Stroud. Under Stroud, the Cavs have tightened up the defense and amped up the offense a bit. In 9 games last year, Calvary averaged 13.7 points per game and were shut out twice. This year, Calvary has scored 79 more points and has not been shut out in any game. The offense is led by the running trio of Ross Howard, John Curry, and Stephen Williams, and the passing game of quarterback Seth Stroud and receiver Dom DeMasi. Upsets are a lot of fun. It would be a great Cinderella story if Calvary could go into ECI and knock off the defending champs. The Cavs have taken a lot of strides this year and are under good leadership in Mark Stroud, but ECI is ranked number 1 for a reason. The Bulldogs are big, they're physical, and they're very fast. I'm rooting for Calvary, but I'm picking ECI 35-7. In Hinesville, the Tigers of Bradwell Institute play host to the number 2 ranked team in Class 5A, Camden County. The winner Friday night will win the region championship and take the number 1 seed into the state playoffs. With so much riding on the line, that makes this game the game of the week. Camden County hasn't even been challenged since the start of region play. The Kingsland School has beaten up on Savannah City teams to the tune of 372-55, and most of those 55 points came late in the games. The Wildcats have won 60 straight region games and have won the last 9 against Bradwell. Bradwell enters Friday night winner of 6 straight, and like Camden County has beaten up on Savannah teams. The Tigers have outscored those schools by 200 points, 251 to 51, and Bradwell is led by the power running of Sheldon Barnes, who has over 1,200 yards and 17 touchdowns, and they have outside speed as well in Deontay Day and Manuel Crum and Wilson Brown at quarterback. I went out to Hinesville this week to talk to Coach Jim Walsh Jr., who said despite all that's at stake this week, he and his Tigers are preparing for Friday night as if it's just any other game.
I mean, it's another football game we got to play, and it's another football game we got to win. And I'm sure Camden's doing the same thing. You get in a routine with these kids, and we're dealing with kids, from 14 to 18, and you get in a routine with them, and you keep them in that routine. The bottom line is it doesn't matter who you play on any given weekend, you have to prep the same way, and just because this game's going to be a little bit bigger, the preparation is still going to be the same. We're not going to try to do anything different this week than we have, the past 12 weeks. So.
Camden County is used to having its way with every region opponent, including Bradwell. But the Tigers are playing on a different level than the Savannah City teams, and if the Wildcats look past the Tigers, they could be in for an upset. But with the playoffs so close, I cannot see Camden County putting itself in position to back into the playoffs. I think Bradwell will give Camden a game, but in the end, I like the Wildcats to win this one, 35-17. Independent school action this week. Bible Baptist opens the Skeeza Class A playoffs at home against Williamsburg Academy. The Braves are led by quarterback Jarrell Richards, who has more than 1,000 yards rushing, almost 900 more passing, and has scored 17 touchdowns and thrown for 9 more. St. Andrews makes its first playoff appearance since 2003 when the Saints opened the Skeeza Class AA playoffs when they travel to St. Matthews, South Carolina to face Calhoun Academy. The Saints enter 6-4 and have won 5 in a row, the last 2 coming by way of shutout. The 2 before that, the Saints gave up just 7 points in each game. Also, Coach Jack Miller said he's going to retire at the end of the season after 53 years on the sideline. You can bet the Saints players want to keep him around for another week. And Saturday at 2 p.m. at Savannah State, the 9-0 Blue Thunder of Memorial Day hosts 4-1 Southwest Georgia Academy out of Damascus in the first round of the Giza Class AA playoffs. Ranked number 1 by the Giza coaches, Memorial Day's greatest asset may be its incredible team speed. Defenses can't keep up with the Blue Thunder offense, and opposing offenses can't beat Memorial to the outside, and they have trouble running up the middle as well. At any level of football, speed kills, and Memorial Day has it. I've seen it in person a couple of times this season, and that's why I will not be shocked to see Memorial still playing on November 28th, the date of the Giza State Championship. That's all for this week. Thanks so much for watching. I will still be back next week for the first round of the playoffs, and after that we'll just sort of have to wait and see. So be sure to check back next week. Come right back to savannahnow.com/prepcentral for the playoff edition of Countdown to Game Day. For the Savannah Morning News, I'm Rich McGowan.